Hi everybody, Cheaply Chic. Welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to be creating these adorable little Polaroid embellishments. One of the channels that I absolutely love here on YouTube is Hummingbird Tales. Her name is Tina and I love her projects. Now, this wasn't something that she created, but she had done a challenge probably a few months ago now, and she was sharing all of the entries on her channel, which I always love seeing everything that everyone creates and sends away to people. Like, I'm always so inspired by that. And one of the things that was in a journal that she received were these embellishments, very, very similar to this. And I probably watched that journal flip through about 5 times, and I'm not kidding, because of all the inspiration that was in it. Her challenge was not about creating a journal, but someone was just kind enough to create one for her and send it to her. And that lady does not have a channel, but I will link the video down below to the flip through of that journal, because I am sure that all of you will find it just as inspiring as I did. So when I saw that, I immediately had to, try my hand at it. This is a little Polaroid die that I have. I will leave the link to it on Amazon in the description box down below for anyone who might be interested. And then I was thinking that I would try it with this wooden frame that my friend Rhonda had sent me, and I just love that as well. And as I was creating these, I thought, surely I have to share them with you guys. These were my prototypes that I was playing around with. I'm super excited to get into it today. So what I have already done, and let me share that with you first. I went through and die cut a bunch of those Polaroid cutouts. I also added glassine paper to the back of them, and this will be the back layer of my embellishment. Let me share with you what I found on Amazon, and I'm sure a lot of you might already know about this, but I didn't, so I want to share it with those of you who don't know about it. It is 12 by 12 glassine paper sheets used to put in between paintings. I'm sure that those of you who are artists know all about this, but me not being an artist, or a painter I should say, had no idea this existed, and I am in love with it. So getting out a piece, it's not exactly like the glassine paper bags that we get. There is like this glossier side on here, but I love it. It was really affordable. Again, I'll link it in the description box down below. But I love the fact that it's 12 by 12, the same size as a scrapbook piece of paper for us, and that we can use it in that way. So I had taken mine and coffee dyed it, and I added it to the back of one of these Polaroid frames. So here is the glassine paper. Here is one of the Polaroid die cuts. I inked around it. And what I'm going to do today is decorate the inside of this embellishment. Here I just used a piece of cut apart doily, a little piece of ephemera, and I added some tulle over the top of it. So I might do that a little bit more. This one has some doily pieces here, just a little scrap of music notes, and another piece of ephemera with the tulle. I'm not sure. I like the tulle, but I feel like my eye is struggling to see the ephemera. So I'm going to play around with different versions of creating that today. And then here is the frame, again with the doily piece, the ephemera, and the tulle. And I just did a little bit of layering here on the top with some bits and some vintage mother of pearl buttons, which I love. And the glassine paper on the back, which I might do more to that as well, because the lady who created these first, at least the first that I saw, had added some quotes to the back. So we're gonna see how that works out. I also created some in this smaller Polaroid size. I'm sure that I won't have time to create all of these on camera today, but I wanted, to get started. So here I made another Polaroid cutout. Some of them are plain because I plan on stamping on them. There are a couple cut out from some handmade paper, and then just some scrapbook paper here. And in the end, what I'm going to do is possibly decorate on this glassine and then glue my cover on and embellish it and all that. Super simple little project, but I thought it was so cute. And I was excited to share it with you guys. So again, all of those links will be in the description box down below, as well as the original video where I saw this and got so inspired. But otherwise, I'm just going to speed up my video here so I can get as much done as possible and share as much as I can with you guys. I hope that you enjoy, and I will see you on the other side. So I decided the first embellishment that I was going to make is going to be like the examples that I showed in the beginning of this video. I'm going to cover the embellishment with some tulle to show you guys how I did that. So first I'm just snipping apart a little piece of fabric that I have, and I'm going to layer it with a Prima embellishment. And then I'm going to take my tulle that I have and I'm going to put the Polaroids together. I also wanted to point out here that I decided to use art glitter glue. Those of you who follow my channel, you know that I always talk about Fabri-Tac. I love Fabri-Tac, right? Well, I decided looking through some of my older journals that maybe I'm not that excited about Fabri-Tac anymore. Why is it that as the journal sits over time, that glue seems to become hard and it's hard to manipulate? I think that's getting on my nerves. I don't know any glue that compares to Fabri-Tac because of the fact that it's acetone based, like I always say, and it is acid free, like it does stand the test of time, but I don't know that I am thrilled with how my journals feel after a couple years. So I decided that I'm going to mess around with art glitter glue a little bit more than I usually do. One of the things that I love about art glitter glue is that tiny little metal tip on the end. It's great for doing small little things like this that I'm doing here, but it does dry clear, and while it is a water-based glue, if I'm not using it all over a page or something, I have found that I like it. So I'm interested in seeing after 6 months, a year, 2 years, just how well that glue behaves in my journals. Moving on to the rest of the embellishments, now I'm going to add the tulle first and make my little Polaroid sandwich, and then I'm going to decorate the top. And I think in the end, this is my preferred method. I do like the way that the embellishments are sandwiched in between the tulle and the glassine paper, but there's just something about it where I feel like my eye is struggling to see. I don't know, it's just me, it's just my preference. It's adorable, but I do like the ones that I am about to make here where I am embellishing over the top of that tulle. I decided to mix it up a little bit here, and I grabbed some Tim Holtz paper dolls. Any of you who have followed me for a while, you know that I just am not crazy over these paper dolls. Over the years, I don't know, there's just something about them that they kind of scare me. They're scary. I don't know why. They're just not. I would much rather use a flower or something than people I don't know. Because to me, these are people I don't know. And then I wonder who they are and where their pictures came from. Just a strange thing about me. But I think as I have adapted to more of a vintage style over time, I've gotten used to them. And I definitely did have fun playing with them. They make a great focal point. It's something that's easy. You don't have to come up with it yourself. So yeah, I do love the way these turned out. I decided on these last couple of Polaroids I was going to do some stamping. So one of my favorite stamps are just flourishes. I love using them. They're so versatile. And what I love about them is you can always use parts and pieces of them. So even though this Polaroid is super thin, I can take some of the lines and curves and just go around and stamp around the outside. So I decided to use Archival Ink Color Vintage Photo, and I'm not using that for any particular reason. It is waterproof where the other Tim Holtz inks are not, but it was just something that was closest to me. So that Polaroid frame there is that handmade paper. I really love that. That has such a great texture, and I love the stamping on top of that too. And now I just decided to finish these up with some more little fabric and doily bits that I have in my basket and some vintage buttons. The vintage buttons definitely make it. I do enjoy adding thread to those that don't have it because of the fact that I'm going to hot glue them down. It really bugs me when I hot glue them and then the glue comes out the holes. Just a personal preference. I do it all the time, but I always regret doing it. So I decided to take the time to thread some of the buttons before I glued them down. And now for a final touch, I'm just going to use some Tim Holtz word stickers to finish them up. All right, so I finished up the last couple that I had, and I am in love with these. I think they are so much fun. They're so versatile. You could do so many different things with these. I used my Tim Holtz stickers so that I can make them quickly. Here I just added a flower with a button and a little leaf from Michael's. These were clearanced out quite some time ago. I'm not sure if they have them anymore, but they're just little burlap leaves. I love those. I finished this one off. All right, so don't forget, I will leave the link to that video in the description box down below if you want to go check out the original journal that I saw this embellishment in, because they're adorable, and the links to the Polaroid die that I have and the glassine paper for anyone interested. So thank you so much for taking the time to watch. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.